Jason Wells here, and I want to do a training this week for MLM Complete Package. And my topic for this week, really for this up and coming month and holidays for us in the States, Thanksgiving, what I've seen over the years is the impact it can have on MLM momentum, good or bad. And the holidays really is a time where you have to ask yourself, are you going to get more momentum because it's an excellent opportunity to do so, or are you going to take a break? And this is really a choice that people have to make. It's a conscious choice. It's not I just, things got busy and I didn't get around to it. No, that's not what leaders do. That's not what people do that make money in this industry. They take responsibility for what they do in November and December. So the thing that I've seen over my 10 years in MLM is people get and keep momentum. Those are the people that make the money and have the growth and make a habit of moving forward always instead of taking breaks, stopping, starting, taking break, that whole thing. And the thing is people, they'll follow our training, they'll do everything we say, and then they won't do the little things like doing the consistent effort. And, gaining momentum in November and December as opposed to taking a break is huge. And I see a lot of people, they end up spending most of January and February trying to build momentum back up, especially with New Year's resolutions. Oh, this is going to be my year. And it never is, because it's the consistent effort and habits that make it your year and make your business go to the next level. So, I just want to digress for a second, talk about MLM momentum. And this is the hardest part about the business, is actually any business. Everyone thinks MLM's so hard, but it's no different than any other business out there. I kind of think of it as like a boat. And I grew up, my dad, we had a boat my whole life. We'd go fishing out on the ocean. And one of the things I noticed about a boat is when you first push the gas, the boat's using all this gas and this power and energy because it's pushing water. But then when it gets to a certain point, at a certain speed, the boat kind of pops up out of the water. They call that getting up on the plane. And what ends up happening is you end up actually going faster using less gas. Well, that just makes me think of momentum in MLM. Like, it takes a lot of energy to get momentum. And once you get up on the plane, you can back off on the gas. So, you spend less time and less energy and you make more money. And that's why the holidays are such a thorn in my side as a leader. Is, it's a love-hate relationship, because a lot of my downline members in my own business that get it, it's a great time to crank up the momentum and actually increase it. Then I have others that take a break from the business and they end up having to start all over again in January and February. And it's just, that's what creates that love-hate relationship with the holidays for me as a leader. And I know what you're thinking. Probably for a lot of you, especially, you're doing MLM for your family. Like, that's why you want to get your business going, is you want to spend more time with your family. That's not everyone that follows us, but I know there's a great majority of people that's their big reason for doing MLM. Is a lot of people say in the industry, their why. And so it's kind of like this hypocritical thing to not spend time with your family in order to, build your MLM business, because you don't want to spread yourself too thin, and holiday time is family and friend time, and I get that. But I don't really think you need to put your family aside to get MLM momentum. In fact, it's the perfect time to have balance and to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. What I mean by that is, you've got your family, your friends, your MLM business, and then the time you need to spend with them. You can take care of all of those things in this time, because the neat thing about the holidays is most of us spend more time with our family and friends at that time than any other time of the year. So my thing is, just keep building the business. And if you build it the way we discuss, like in our communication course, we talk about the develop step. It's got a lot of power. And the develop step, if you do the business right, you can literally spend time with your family and build your MLM business at the same time. And if you do the develop step correctly, then you'll build prospects and momentum going into the holidays, as well as spending quality time with your family and friends. If you don't know what I'm talking about, develop step, our communication course talks about that. Little plug on that, but I'm going to plug that because that course is one of the biggest reasons why people in my business that learn it, know it, and make it a part of them have success, is they figure out how to have conversations as opposed to doing the same cheesy crap that most people in MLM do, which is pitching their business and puking all over people. It just doesn't work. And that course basically gives you a roadmap on how to build some common sense into your conversations. And boy, the holidays are the best time to do that because you're talking to your friends and family. Now, seeing all these people struggle in January and February with getting their momentum going after taking December off, you don't want to be one of those people. Instead, use the time, as I said, to develop these relationships. And I talked about not pitching your business and building a bridge, but I think where people miss it out there is they don't understand that meaningful conversations are what lead to opportunities to talk about your business or your product or service to get customers. And what I mean by that is if you think about the typical conversation for somebody that you haven't seen in a while, that you have a pretty good relationship with, or somebody that you talk to a lot, the point is you start talking. What's the typical question? How are you doing? And what do people always say? I'm great or I'm good. It's just that surface answer that people get because no one wants to be construed as negative. People want to come out of the gate saying, oh, well, things are good, but I'm having all these issues, blah, blah, blah. But that's the way life is. There's always good and bad in life, but people aren't going to come out of the gate with that. But the point is, if you build that bridge with somebody, you develop them, you start listening to people and talking to them and their concerns, you're going to find out, as you all know, later in these conversations, when you really start having a meaningful conversation outside of the surface, oh, life is great, you actually have people start talking about, this is going on with me, that's going on with me, and a lot of it's going to be the frustrations that lead to something that your MLM business, the business side, could help them with, or maybe it's something that your product or service can help them with. I'm in like a health company, so when somebody talks about a health concern, that might be an opportunity to talk about my product. So everyone has their situation, and your company in one way or another is going to fit into some of the people out there in their situation. So just know that you're going to start out your conversations with how are you doing, and everyone's going to be great and good. But as you have more meaningful conversations and you get below the surface of the surface crap that we all do with everyone, you're going to actually get into some real stuff. So I don't want to ramble on about this anymore. I mean, I could talk about this for hours, the whole momentum thing, but I'm just going to leave you with, it's a choice. You're going to either gain momentum or kick things to the next level, or you're going to take a break and you're going to spend January and February trying to get things going. It's really up to you and what you want to do. And don't hit January and your excuse is, well, I just, things got out of hand, out of sight, out of mind. No, when you don't build your MLM business, it's a conscious choice. It's not, you can't say, oh, I just got too busy and it just happened. It just kind of happened. Nothing ever just happens. Okay. You make the choice. So you have to think about when you're getting off track and the choice you're going to make at that moment. Are you going to continue to let yourself get off track, or are you going to build momentum in the holidays?